I'm sure you can do some research and find all the areas hit with storms, but Winthrop Harbor. The picture right there had ice by the lake. Yeah, because Lake Michigan creates a lot of like crazy hailstorms in this area. Winthrop Harbor, all this area, Waukegan, Illinois, Villa Park, Waukegan, Gume, Illinois, Gume, Illinois. So yeah, all this area. Yeah, Elmhurst, Illinois, 45,000 population. Gets 90 search according to keywords. See how this guy doesn't even have Elmhurst in the name or the title? This guy doesn't have it either. Such low DR. Here's an example where you can literally create a company name called Elmhurst. You can literally create an Elmhurst Reliable Roofing as the company name. Elmhurst Reliable Roofing.com. And if you did the optimization that I teach you and get some backlinks, not even that much, you will be able to dominate all the search queries of people searching for roofing in Elmhurst, Illinois. Because these guys don't even have Elmhurst. This is what I'm saying is like there's massive amounts of opportunities. This is Lindholm Roofing. They just have an off page that targets Elmhurst, right? Yeah, this is a super off page that targets Elmhurst. These pages are not as strong as an entire brand and domain targeting Elmhurst. Google is always going to reward brands before they reward an off page because now your brand is hyper relevant to Elmhurst. Google cannot get away from that. Google always has to reward things that are most difficult to manipulate. But Google, at the end of the day, its number one important thing when it comes to ranking web properties is the relevance. They cannot undo that in the like ranking algorithm. But there's nothing more powerful or difficult to manipulate than a domain that has the city in it, to be honest. So that has to be baked into their algorithm at a deep level. Let's say I'm a chiropractor and I created 50 services about various different chiropractic practices, right? There's ones I see on like videos that go viral where they take like the neck and they like extend it. They just call it like neck extension chiropractic. If I come into that same city and create a whole brand around neck extension chiropractic, Google has to rank me ahead of the general chiropractor that's offering 50 other services because, again, it has to think that a brand that specializes in just neck extension chiropractic is going to be way more relevant and useful to the user that's searching for that versus this other general practitioner. So in much the same way, if you're a whole brand that is all about servicing the city of Elmhurst, it has to over time look at you as more of the authority brand for Elmhurst Roofing. Chris Young says, any advice on hunting for backlinking without paying per link? There was a live that I did, maybe one of you guys can point it out, maybe 3, 4 lives ago where I go into how I would go hunt for backlinks. Most of you guys are going to be able to, if you have the money, be better off just buying backlinks from my partner because these backlinks are even difficult for a regular person to get. epay.com/backlinks. However, if you feel like you want to go get your own free backlinks and you have the time and you're really strapped on cash, I did a live as well a few weeks ago where I used tools to go find backlinks. Remember, these are backlinks that we're getting where it's not even like a what you call a link farm or those sites where you can just anybody can get a guest post. Those sites can eventually turn toxic because those sites will just create a backlink for any topic. But when you get backlinks from my partner, you are backlinks from actually relevant websites. He can get some sites that are based in Chicago, for example. These are going to be some of the backlinks that we started working on. Okay, so he got us a backlink, and this is an EDU site. This is a Miami University site. And this is a Tampa site that he's going to get a backlink on. Super relevant. These relevant backlinks are going to be very powerful. This one has a high DR and high traffic. All these sites have traffic as well. This is the Tampa website, and this is our article. Are hurricane-proof windows the future of home safety in Tampa coastline communities? When a link is coming from a hyper relevant article like this, it magnifies it in its power. So now we got a backlink here to our lead gen site. This is a brand that builds hurricane resistant windows, and it's coming from an article about hurricane proof windows on a Tampa site and actually in Tampa. Very relevant, powerful backlink. Because he has relationship with certain editors to get into these sites. This is a site where you don't even see right for us kind of thing, like guest post opportunity. It's an actual Tampa Press site. Every single one of the packages are going to be permanent backlinks. So I know there's one where you can just spend like $500 and you get the backlinks, or there's like a monthly subscription one where it's like $500 a month and the team automatically builds you site backlinks every month. But you can cancel those subscriptions at any time, and every backlink that they build is permanent. Felix asks, when do you start creating GBP once your site gets to the top 10 first? And let's say I am building 10 sites at once. Do you recommend doing GBP, verify them all at once? I would go ahead and do the GBP when you do some citations and you got some citations that are already indexed by Google. So let me show you what I mean. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna search the address and then let's search also the phone number. Here's our map listing. Still brand new. But you can see these citations have indexed. We got this citation that's indexed. Just try searching the name. There should have been more citations. Yeah, so this is Manta. This is our phone number, so I don't know if this is our Facebook business. Make sure you have all the social media pages as well. Okay, that's not it. I wonder why that phone number is. Some of it hasn't clearly not indexed yet, but this one has. Tampa Hurricane Windows with the phone number. There's the address. Again, I usually like to see more citations than this, but even with this few citations that we still got, it was still fine. This is a YouTube channel.
Hey, Tampa homeowners, when the storm hits, are you ready? Today I'm diving into why hurricane
Tampa Hurricane Windows. We should have added the name, address, and phone number in here though in the description. This project was actually not done by my team, so it wasn't as tight. But best believe when I do mine, like all this stuff is dialed. This was done like months ago. But yeah, you definitely want the name, address, and phone number in the freaking. And there's plenty of AI video maker things out there, guys, that you can use to create these kind of videos. Yeah, maybe in 2 months, let's say you build the site indexes, you create all the social media pages like Facebook Business, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all the major ones, Twitter, Instagram. Once you do that, then you do the citations. And then at least wait a couple weeks for you start seeing some of the citations in the Google index. And then I would submit for the GBP. Aaron says, so the other day I was trying to get a GBP and it notified me it was under review. Then 10 seconds later it was suspended. Is that normal? That can sometimes happen a lot. So when it gets suspended, now you have to provide documents. Get the business listed on an actual government or like a state business directory, and then submit an electric bill with the DBA and get it appealed. Like the two map listings that I talked about on this live that we have verified now, initially with the video verification, it went into suspension. Then we appealed it with the DBA and all these things, and then we got it verified. So don't be scared of it getting suspended. It seems to be almost like part of the process at this point. Yep, no problem. Well, electric bill is going to be separate. I think Jared sent me a company that can create electric bills for you guys. I don't have it right now. Pretty sure there's plenty of people on Fiverr that can create bills, electric bills. We just did a Verizon bill. Jose asked, this roofing opportunity you have for us, are you looking to do the same but with other industries, large business owners you have, or are seeking? Yeah, eventually. But right now, we're not nowhere even close to any, even remotely close to any saturation with the roofing client. So they just have singular focus and do the roofing. And then if I see that, because I'm going to see every single one of your guys' sites, okay, when you submit. and I'll be able to really see the levels of saturation. And if I see that there is some saturation happening, then I can, using my clout that I run this community, I can get a hold of another high level company in the future if needed. Schmunk asks, how long after getting backlinks placed does it take for the DR to begin taking effect and website begin to rise up to the rankings? There's no clear way to tell. I've seen it jump in like a month, sometimes a little longer. But also keep in mind, don't get hung up on the DR because if Rev uses their own bots, they might take a while to crawl to that backlink, right? And Google might have already seen that backlink already. Remember, Google is using its own completely different system. So just because the DR didn't move, but the backlink is indexed in Google, Google's already giving you credit. So don't get too hung up on the DR either because the DR is just an approximation with Ahrefs, their own crawlers. Chris Young says, any advice on quickly drafting content, more particularly for newbies to figure out how to talk right on the website, especially for entering a new niche? Chris, did you take a look at inside app.epay.com? Like I created my own content writer that uses like agentic workflows. I would start here and get the homepage done because this is using multiple AI agents to create content that's better than what you could create with just ChatGPT. And then once you have the homepage done, then maybe you can add more extra details or keywords or maybe extra information in there through you can just maybe do some research. So for example, if it's talking about hail damage, use ChatGPT and ask, hey, give me some statistics about hailstorms in Chicago and take some of that data and splice it into your content. That's something that you can do pretty quickly utilizing AI research. Again, you can always reference the site I showed you guys today, Glenview Elite Roofing. You will see if you read this content, you will see that we are providing some specific numbers. These, when I say entities, are things, names of places, things, locations. So we didn't just put 40% of structural, according to National Roofing Contractors Association. And ChatGPT can give you these information. Give me some stats, cite the sources. And you can cite the sources within the content. Now, suddenly, this content is far more rich than just saying, hey, we repair leaking roofs. Flat and low slope roofing system use membranes. Okay, what kind of membranes, right? Now it's a lot higher quality content if I now list what kind of membranes. So every general nouns like this, see if you can actually come up with examples of that, right? So these are the examples of if you see a section where it's like all bunch of non-entity content, try to ask yourself, wait, what are actual kind of types of membranes that I can list? And this content is not even done yet. I feel like I can even make this content even better if I dug through enough, right? A lot of it here, I'm seeing lack of actual entities, which I don't like. I think we can make it even better. So we got some figures here, which is good. Okay. Reflective roofs have energy saving benefits, especially to commercial establishments. High albedo surfaces reflect up to 85% of solar radiation compared to just 5 to 15% for traditional dark roofing materials. These systems can reduce roof surface temperature by 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit during peak summer conditions. In effect, your cooling cost decreases by 15 to 25%. Now that's good content, okay? Because it's actually giving you like raw info, data. Hope that helps. So, that being said, guys, thanks for hopping on the live today, and I will talk to you guys next week. Peace out.